Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for this webinar. My name is Brent Phillips. I'm the Managing Director for IntelliMagic, who is sponsoring this webinar. I've got with me as well two other names that perhaps some of you have heard about in your experience with IBM mainframes. Joe Hyde is going to be doing two sections of the presentation today. Joe's been with IntelliMagic about a year now, after spending 32 years with IBM, focusing on high-end disk performance. He's got, I think, over about 20 patents as well in the area of disk storage performance design, and has over 12 years of experience with disk performance for non-mainframe sites as well. So we're pleased to have Joe presenting. Along with Joe is Paulus Usong, and some of you in the Americas region may be familiar with his name as well. He's joined IntelliMagic this spring after spending about 30 years with IBM. He was in the Advanced Technical Support group focused on the Americas region, providing pre-sales and post-sales technical support for zOS customers, doing various studies, for example, zHPF analysis, which is one of the things we'll talk about today. And he also co-authored a red book on the topic of DS8000 performance and tuning that you may have seen. So we're pleased to be able to present this content to you today and to have these presenters. Product that we'll be using in today's analysis is called IntelliMagic Vision, and there's different modules available. One of them will, of course, look into the zHPF workloads and coupling facility workloads. So we'll show you a lot of samples about that. Just a couple of words about the difference that IntelliMagic Vision offers when we're doing our analysis. I mean, everybody's been using different tools and capabilities, SAS and MXG, for example, for many, many years, and are very familiar with the classical data presentation is what we call it. But with this, it's difficult to know really where to look. You have to be an expert, and of course everybody's workload has increased and staffing levels have decreased, and the complexity and size of the environment you manage has typically increased. So it makes it really impractical to use these kind of reporting tools to proactively avoid problems. I mean, they can be very useful if you know what to look for when you're drilling down for, discover a problem. But we feel that there is a need in the market to incorporate more intelligence into the data analysis and the summary of what you're looking at. So this is our approach with IntelliMagic Vision, where we mine the data, we use rules and a knowledge base about what's good and bad to be able to summarize risk and the health of the status of the environment. Looking at both, the logical views as well as the physical views and tying those together, grouping relevant reports together is one of the types of intelligence that's built into how we look at the data, and providing recommendations. So that's our approach with IntelliMagic Vision. And one way to look at what we're doing is actually restoring the original intent of RMF on the mainframe. Of course, when it was first introduced, the infrastructure was a lot different than it is now. Things have been expanded so much where the amount of RMF data that's produced in your environments on a lot of different zOS resources is just is very voluminous, and it's hard to see what's really important out of all of that data. And so from our perspective, the original intent was to have RMF serve as a source of proactive knowledge about how the zOS resources are performing. And to get back to that intent is one of the things that we feel that we're able to do with the IntelliMagic Vision solution by incorporating this additional knowledge and intelligence about the hardware infrastructure in with the data and with all the automation capabilities. So one of the key ways that shows up is in this dashboard kind of view. So there's a lot of different dashboards in the product with what we call key risk indicators, not just a key performance indicator, which would help you understand when a problem is already happening. But actually the intent is to give early warning by changing some of the key metrics to yellow, for example, to indicate that even though your response times are fine just now, we feel that the infrastructure actually is stressed, or that the risk of the infrastructure to handle your peak period workloads has grown to an unacceptable level. And if you can deal with it when it's in that yellow stage, then you could avoid it going to a red dot or a bigger red dot as the problem gets more severe. So that's kind of the intent, and to be able to give you a visibility into your infrastructure, where in just 30 seconds or so you could see, is there an issue that should be investigated or not, and then to be able to quickly drill down and get to the very detailed metrics of relevant information for that particular issue.
This is just a brief overview of what we will be discussing in the actual video. If you would like more detailed explanations, as well as more content, please follow the link in the annotation.